Welcome everyone, it's Mary with Happy Pine Soap. So glad to see you all back with me this week. Today we're going to make a gorgeous sea salt spa bar. Sea salt is fabulous for the skin. It's a natural humectant. Basically, that means it retains moisture, so it actually makes the skin feel fabulously soft and moist and hydrated. It also is great at cleansing and helps absorb dirt and makeup and excess oil, as well as a great exfoliator to make your skin super soft. And the other half of our bar is going to be a completely separate recipe. And both of these recipes will be included today. So you are welcome to try this bar out and this recipe if you would like to. Let's go ahead and get started. Our ocean bars are going to be made with two separate recipes. The bottom part of our ocean bars are going to be made with a gorgeous salt bar recipe. I'm using Mediterranean fine sea salt, but you can use any sea salt that you have near you. The bottom ocean color, that sand color, is going to be made with Sakura from Mad Micas. This makes a fabulous sand color. And then the top of our bars are going to be made with a completely separate recipe, and I will show both of those recipes in this tutorial so that you can try and make this design yourself if you would like to. So I already have my slab mold ready here. This is from Brambleberry. The dividers are wonderful for making sure these bars hopefully will be easy to cut apart and separate, because the dividers have done most of the work for me. And I'll show you the next step of how to create a luxurious, fabulous, nourishing salt bar. For the bottom part of our soap, which is going to be the sand part with the wonderful sea salt that I have measured out here and ready to go, I'm going to go with Coastal Rain. This is from Brambleberry. It sounds like a wonderful ocean fragrance to me, and I have it pre-weighed out and ready to go as well for later when the soap is ready to be poured. And for the top of the soap, I'm going with a completely different bottle of fragrance. This is Ray of Sunshine, also by Brambleberry. The two smell wonderful together and have a wonderful ocean theme. I've gone ahead and done the Sakura mica with lightweight oil. I like to use sweet almond oil. For the Sakura, which is going to be our sand color, I went with 1/2 tablespoon of the mica, and then 1 tablespoon of our sweet almond, and then I used a mini blender to blend this together so it has a nice consistency and is ready to go for when the soap is made as well. That's kind of my go-to, is to get everything set out and ready to go so that once the oils and the lye are combined, I can just bit by bit take care of each step without forgetting anything. All right, I went ahead and did the top layer micas as well. These are for the ocean colors. Snow White is the white we're using. This makes a wonderful true white instead of titanium dioxide. We also have Key West and Sea Glass, and again, all by Mad Micas. This time for the white, I used 2 teaspoons of our white mica to 1 tablespoon of our sweet almond oil. And for each blue, I used 1 teaspoon of mica to 1 tablespoon of the sweet almond. So that's the only difference in the micas. And then I have the Ray of Sunshine here, also poured out and in the correct amount and ready to go. So we are all set for colorants and fragrances and additives, of course, with our salt. So now all I need to do is start warming up our oils and getting ready to make the 2 separate batches of soap. For the bottom of our soap, we are using 17.04 ounces of coconut, 2.88 ounces of olive, 2.88 of avocado, and 1.2 of castor. Of course, the grams are right here as well. I already had my water and my lye pre-mixed. So 4.86 of water, 3.24 ounces of lye, and again, the grams are here. And this I pre-mixed and had set aside waiting for it to cool. So, as you can see, I have them all melted and warmed and weighed out appropriately. They're about 97 degrees now. So I think we're ready to start adding the lye. Okay, we have our lye. Let me check the temp. It's about 79. And our oils now are about 95. Yeah, so I think we're ready. Let's get started. Let's pour our lye in carefully. All right. Don't forget to burp your stick blender. All right. This is a new recipe for me, so I'm not 100% certain if it will set up too fast. So I'm being very careful and not over blending. All right. I think that's pretty good. Let's get our colorant, fragrance, and salt in. Let's get the fragrance in. And our colorant. We'll carefully mix the two together. So far the batter appears to be nice and fluid. It's not thickening up too much on us, which is great. And now we are going to put in the salt. I will carefully stir that in. And you stir it in at trace. In this particular design, that's how we're going to do it. So basically the bottom sandy part will have a lovely sand-like texture as well with the salt, and be gently exfoliating. Salt's great for the skin. It draws moisture. Actually, it does not strip or dry out the skin. So it's quite a luxurious spa bar that we're making today. Okay, I think we're about ready to pour this. It's doing great. We got our slab mold. We're just gonna pour the sandy layer in the bottom. I wanna make sure the sand is dispersed evenly, so I'll keep stirring. I mean sand, the salt. That's what I meant. I don't want a big clump of salt somewhere. Ooh, so nice. Look at that, yeah. You can see how that pink, it started out pink. But what's so cool about Sakura, the color, is that it looks exactly like sand when it's all cured. It's one of my favorite colors. All right, that looks perfect. Don't forget to tap your mold. Let's get ready for the second layer, the ocean part of our soap. I got a brand new bowl ready to go. This top layer is also going to be a one pot wonder type of design. So I have a big jug that I'm going to use to pour the 3 separate colors, and it makes this beautiful oceany swirl. So I love the one pot wonder technique for this design. So if you have a big, larger jug, you'll want to get that out, and I will show you how to do this design here as soon as we get all of our soap made and the colors separated. I've put our slab mold aside with the first batch, and now we're on to the second, which is a totally different recipe. So we're going to go with 5.98 ounces of coconut, 10.56 ounces of lard. We have the same exact amount for tallow, and our olive is 6.34, and the castor is 1.76. Again, grams are here. Notice our water here is a different amount as well, 7.38 and 4.92 for the lye. Again, grams are here. And this is a 3-pound recipe here. So the top is 3 pounds and the bottom was 2 pounds. I forgot to mention that. So let's go ahead and get our oils melted. We have the oils for the ocean that are now combined and melted together. They're about 115. And our lye is about 101. I think I'm gonna wait about 15 minutes and let them cool just a bit more before I combine them. And then we'll be ready to start our top ocean layer. It's been about 15 minutes or so, and my oils have officially come down in temp. They're about 88, and the lye is about 85. So I think we're ready now for this batch. Carefully pour your lye into the oils. Let's get our stick blender, burp it. Now this recipe I'm very familiar with. This is my favorite fluid recipe, my 5-ingredient fluid recipe that I've used for many of the soap challenges because it stays fluid for a long time. So I'm pretty confident that this one will behave itself. Fragrance going in. Gently stir. We have our 3 separate pour containers, and in each container is about 16 ounces of soap. Let's get our colors in. I think I'm going to do the white one in the slightly larger one. I had a bit of a slightly higher quantity of soap that went into this pour container, so I'm gonna do the white one in this one. Now for our light blue. And our beautiful dark blue. Gently stir your micas in. Oh, so beautiful. The trace is behaving itself. It's a beautiful thin trace. You can see the trailings on the surface. I like Snow White because it doesn't cause the batter to thicken. Titanium dioxide is known for potentially causing batter to thicken. So this one behaves itself in a better fashion. Beautiful, nice thin trace. And last but not least, our gorgeous sea glass. And I think we're ready to get it into the big pour container now. Let's begin our one pot wonder. You want to start with the white first because the white is going to come out last, and the white is going to be our top part of our ocean, like the frothing wave. So white goes in first, then our light blue, and then the dark blue. So that's the order. And I'm going to pour them all down the front of our pour container here. Kind of like a wall pour. Let me scrape this out and we'll go ahead and do the light blue after this. Next is our light blue, our sea glass. I guess it's more of a blue-green actually, which is perfect for the ocean. And last but not least, our gorgeous Key West. Notice the soap is thickening. It's more probably to a medium trace at this point. So I want to get it into the mold before it gets any thicker on me. We have our first layer that, as you see, it is nice and firm. It literally is only about 30 minutes later. So we can completely pour on top of this without any problems. It won't sink in and it won't ruin the design because this layer is pretty much firmed up already. So let's go ahead and start our one pot wonder. So I'm gonna tip this. Let me see if I can, there we go. We're gonna tip it and we're gonna go side to side in a nice sweeping motion. And then as it starts to fill up, we are going to gently tip it. It's getting pretty thick on us. This is actually kind of surprising to me. Normally this recipe does not do this. So my guess is there are some fragrances at play here. Normally when it doesn't really behave how you expect it to, most of the time it's fragrances. They have a tendency to accelerate trace. Even sometimes when, say, like these were not supposed to accelerate trace, but I think they have. I think they have. All right. Now, we're gonna have to carefully pour some of the white on the other side. There we go. It is so thick, I'm gonna have to scrape this out. All right, let's go ahead and do that so we don't waste any soap. Let me tap this down. And I think what I'm going to do, since it's thickened up a bit, I'm just going to try to make the tops look a little bit nicer by using a dowel and just making a slight design in the top, if it will do it. Because these are pretty darn thick soap. But hopefully we'll get it to look a little nicer on top. And again, you don't want to push the dowel into the bottom. You want it just towards the top. I think like literally just, I'm just pushing it in probably a 1/4 inch. No more than a 1/2 inch, just in the top layer. I'm gonna clean up the edges here with a dowel. There we go. And then I will shake it down again. There we go. Let's go ahead and put the dividers in now. Hopefully they will push through all the way to the bottom layer. I'm hoping it's not too hard to do so, because if it is, oh boy. Oh, I think I can do it. It's going, guys. Be firm, be firm. Don't take no for an answer with your soap. Here we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all the way at the bottom. And I'm going to oven process these as well. I'm back. It's actually been almost a full day. I waited overnight. So this is the subsequent morning. I just released it from its mold by turning it upside down. It released perfectly. So that's what you see here. And I'm trying to figure out if I should flip it over and push these like all the way through. Well, let me just try one at a time. Ooh, okay. Yep, that works. So we're essentially gonna push the plastic through. Ooh, let me slide it. Oh, there we go. So there you go. We got the ocean sand at the bottom and the waves with the different color of blue at the top. Let's go ahead and continue to get a few more out here. Oh, this one's coming loose. There you go. Very cute, very cute. As you can see, salt bars are very, very crumbly. That's why a lot of people put them in individual molds. It's the salt part that crumbles at the bottom. So thankfully, for the most part, these did not fall apart. We see some edges that are a little bit less than smooth from the salt, but you know what? It just adds to their rustic charm. So they all pretty much came out just as I was hoping they would. with some nice lines. The bars are hard enough to unmold today, so I was very pleased with that. One thing I didn't mention in the beginning of the video, but the reason I use two separate recipes is because these salt bars have to have a very high amount of coconut oil to lather. So that's why the first recipe has such an enormous amount of coconut oil. That is one of the few oils that will lather in the presence of salt. Now we're on to the lather test. Let's see how they lather. Ooh, the salt side feels very, it has a wonderful like slit to it. Ooh, let me put this aside. Get a little more water. Oh yeah, okay. So as you see, the salt, because we up that super fat with the coconut oil, we put mostly coconut oil in, it did not cut the lather. And then what's really lovely is the other half is a normal soap, which has normal lather. So yeah, this is a salt bar that's gonna have plenty of lovely, lovely lather. So overall, I would say highly successful bar, wonderful, wonderful soap. As promised, here are both of the recipes. The first one is the bottom, which as you can see has an enormous amount of coconut oil at 71%. That's to help boost that lather, as I mentioned. And the second is a completely normal bar that you could use for just any cold process soap recipe if you wanted to. I really hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, feel free to drop me a comment. If you make this and love it, feel free to also let me know. I look forward to seeing you all in the next soapy tutorial. Take care, everyone.